episode 21. So today I'm joined with Derek Whyte on bass and Jason McNamara on drums. It was a really cool recording session. One of the easiest recording sessions I've ever done. Don't know what it is. It's beautiful weather. It was just very easy going, very flowing the whole way through. So yeah, what did you think of it, guys?
Thought it was great. Yeah, it was very easy going. I think kind of locked in pretty quick.
Yeah,
Just kind of on the same page, which is really important. If that's not happening straight away, then you've got to deal with that.
yeah,
That becomes another issue. So that was really good. That everyone was just everyone's ears were open straight away, and we just listened, and yeah, makes everything much easier.
yeah. I found like there was no kind of like that kind of, there was no real awkward tension or anything. It was just kind of easy going as soon as we started. As soon as like everyone arrived, it was just like, I don't know what it was. It was like I said, it was a very easy session.
Well, we had a car journey, so that was good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could actually have a chat because we just met really before.
Yeah, this is the first time for me meeting both of you.
Yeah,
It's cool, man.
So
Yeah, you figured each other out.
yeah. We had a couple of hours to figure each other out. We were able to go in.
Cool, man. How did you find it?
Yeah, it was a breeze, really. Like I didn't really feel blocked or anything at any point, really. I think it just felt like we were all just kind of open to,
Yeah,
letting it flow and seeing what happens, and not being too judgmental of ourselves or anything that was going on, So
yeah,
yeah, it's you know yourself, like straight after a jam or a recording session, it's kind of hard to really
what just
analyze
happened?
it, or
Yeah. I guess like I could mention like some of the tracks. Like the first track, I found like a dice, so I just threw it in my pocket, and I was like, when the first track came up, I was just like took it out and I just threw it on the floor, and like number 2 came up, so we just did was it 2/4? Was it 2? What, I can't remember. What
you just said playing 2, whatever that means. So
No, you literally said that. So it's like it's like so many concepts when you're playing free. Like it's very, it's really up to you to interpret like what you want it to be as well. So if you literally give a number, I straight away I was like, well, this could be the numbers in my head, but it could be so many things. So I wasn't necessarily thinking necessarily just meter or anything like that. It was just 2 is
Yeah.
the thing.
yeah, it's always like an interesting thing, trying to get the balance of like when you're given a direction, but also like it's supposed to be free at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's like you're trying not to get too
Too absorbed by the
occupied
thing.
by the direction or the criteria or whatever.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I.
Getting out your own way with it.
That's kind of what I found with the session as well, is because I had all these concepts and notions and ideas and thought processes that led up to it, and then I was like, a lot of them were like, okay, try and abandon ego as much as you can, and I had loads of different things I sent to the boys, and it was just, then when it came to the session, I was just like, okay, forget about these. Not really it's not that I wasn't feeling them, it's just that I guess I wasn't feeling them, but the ego thing was definitely part of it. It was trying to just let go and not try and play right or wrong. It was just play anything.
Yeah, but I mean, it's probably good to have the concepts in mind even beforehand. Because,
Yeah.
if you just say let go, what are you actually letting go of?
That's it,
So if you have the concepts in mind, at least you're actually letting go of something. You're actually going, no, I had this in mind. Now I'm not going to go that direction. As
Super.
opposed to never having an idea. in the
Yeah,
first place.
that's it, because then that's when it does get awkward then, I think, because you have nothing to follow. I guess at times in the session, I guess I probably, if I was finding that I was completely letting go, at times I felt I could fall back on these old concepts. Well, they're not old, they're like a day old, I just sent them to you yesterday. But
Yeah, it's good to use those things as starting points, and then where you end up, that doesn't really, you don't know where you're going to end up, but then like you say, if you get lost, you can kind of come back to that.
Yeah, it's like comfortable ground, you know. I enjoy that now. And then the second track was, I think it was the second track, was the painting. So I did 2 paintings for this. One is based on a very kind of protesty vibe and like that kind of energy, I guess. So that was cool. I don't know how it sounded. I don't even know if it sounded protesty or not. But that was really interesting. Like, so
I think I just stared at the painting, so I'm not sure how much of it, or my own interpretation might be slightly different than yours. But that's kind of what I just kept on glancing at it every so often, just to feel something.
You were playing the drums backwards, like before we started the take. Part of me was thinking,
maybe I should have stayed that way.
It was protesting against forward drumming. I think that's all.
And then I think the third track, like, I didn't have much to say in the sense of like we'll try and reflect this or reflect that, so I just start playing, and that was a really good track as well. Fourth track
was the other painting, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was the volcano. Like it's a very kind of fiery kind of painting. So that was cool. Really brought out different elements of like my avant-garde style in that, because lately I've been listening, like a lot of my influences coming up to this were like Milford Graves, Evan Parker. I think there's loads of different players I've listened to, like, but definitely getting into a lot more of my free jazz side. Like obviously this is free jazz, but I guess more of the avant-garde, sonic-y kind of overtone, altissimo-y, breaking through notes kind of stuff, and it's fun to explore it, you know. I feel like if I do too much of it, then I kind of get lost in that world a bit, whereas at the same time I like it to be accessible, like. And then another part of me is like, no. But that was really fun, that track, because, you know, it had that fire kind of energy in it, and what was really interesting for the session as well, and it worked out really well, was because you didn't use the snare in the end, you know, as in you didn't use the actual snare of the snare. It was just an open snare drum, and I thought there was just something real cool about that, you know. It brought it back to that kind of street vibe as well, and just I don't know, I thought that
first thing I think about when you say that is fucking Saint Anger by Metallica.
Metallica, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like that actually.
Yeah, well,
hopefully
it's great because it hasn't, like, I just love that sound. I remember years ago, like, when I used to play drums, like, I used to just love opening up the snare the whole time and just play on that, because things are more clear, like, and especially with the kind of stuff Derek and me stuff were playing, like, I don't know what we were playing at some stage, like, it was busy, I guess, so like having without that snare in it, maybe it might have balanced out what we were doing, you know. And to have you on electric bass as well, which was I thought was really cool, you know. It changed up things in a different kind of way. I wanted this album to be more electric sounding, you know, just stretch out from the normal kind of like line-up instruments I have, like, so to bring electric bass in it, I thought that was just fun, you know. And there's also more space in the car as well.
Yeah, the practical aspect of playing electric. Things we don't talk about.
Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I suppose from my perspective, playing the electric instead of the acoustic, that was it made the whole session very different than the one we did in Cross Battle.
Yeah.
It just sonically, there's different areas to go, and there's different places. Like, the thing about the double bass is that usually, like, once you start playing, it really influences the overall sound, I find.
Yeah.
As in, like, not that the electric doesn't, but as in, you know, like, as in, once you hear the double bass playing, when you hear certain tones off
it grabs in kind of.
Yeah,
like,
it's kind of everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
And it's acoustic instrument, so it's like kind of surrounds the room.
Right.
Whereas the electric, I often feel sometimes when I'm playing free, I can just get slightly more involved.
Cool.
You know, what you guys are doing.
Is that because it doesn't resonate the same?
Yeah, probably.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't. Because it doesn't surround the whole room. It's like just in this little one place.
Yeah,
here
for
beside
sure.
me. Like, it's not in the actual instrument itself. It's in the
notes end quicker.
Yeah, exactly. So it completely changes the room, and it makes me play completely differently. Like, I played completely differently than the last one.
It's definitely different.
And I like that. It's nice to change things up a little bit, because you can get into habits very quickly. And I do a lot of free stuff on both instruments, and it's great to change it up because like all the preconceived stuff you have in mind from the acoustic and suddenly play the electric, you go, I can't do any of that stuff, and then vice versa. So it's for me it's great. It gives a completely
Super.
new way of approaching.
And how did you feel doing this, man? Like, was this your first kind of free jazz recording? This kind of like just improv?
Yeah, I mean, with this like instrumentation or whatever, yeah, I suppose.
Cool.
Well, yeah, I've never really been involved in any like group like live or recording that was like, it's like, oh, this is gonna be a free jazz gig or record or whatever.
It worked so well. That's what I loved about it, you know.
Yeah, like I was just trying. I don't know. It was nice to kind of just any time I had like a bit of like creeping like doubt like in the back of my mind or something, or like there's a few times when we ended like most of the time when we ended it was like, oh yeah, cool, but there was one or two where it was like, oh, I felt like it was just kind of like getting into it or could go, but immediately just being accepting of it and being like, okay, well,
yeah, that's
grand.
it.
Yeah,
because especially like the first couple of tracks I wanted to make them short compared to other stuff, like other albums, like some like the first, like I was saying, the first track of one of the previous albums was like 11 and a half minutes long. Like it's just does like it's great, but yeah, like to do like the first couple of tracks for like 5 minutes, and it is different ending in the tune, like the like it's all there, that's why I feel like okay, we said everything, now it's just being disciplined enough to just okay, we're done now, like and that's what was kind of interesting about the session. I don't want to say it's more of a professional thing because it's not, but you know what I mean, it's more I don't want to say controlled either.
it's just having the awareness, right? Like,
yeah, that's it. Yeah, awareness, I guess, is the best word for it. Like,
yeah, I mean, there's compositional elements to all of these things, and if you can say to yourself like 5 or 6 minutes, I mean, you are intentionally, like if you're trying to write a tune and it's 5 or 6 minutes, you will do something similar. You'll have these moments and you'll just try and fit it into a certain framework, and I think the same thing goes for improvisation as well. If you say that you want something in this amount of time, you do it, even if you feel it could go on a bit longer, it's cool. Like that's what you've aimed for. That was the plan. So no,
happy days.
I think it works well.
Yeah, and it ends up just being a nice like document of where you were at that particular moment, that particular day. So,
awesome. I'm trying to think as well. There was 2 more. We did 2 more, I think. Oh no, we did 3 more. We did after that. We did. We took a break. No,
we did. Yeah, but when we came back to it was.
We just played anything.
No, that was the one we came back was the one where you
mist,
visualizing the kayak.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
that was like a mist kind of bass track, like just in a kayak, like in winter time. But I think the track will be called Solitude. But like, it's basically like in a kayak and there's just mist and fog everywhere, and you're just by yourself out in the middle of nowhere, kind of. So it was a kind of meditative kind of track compared to the other ones, which weren't really. They're meditative in their own way, but not in that kind of way.
They were a very different kayak journey.
Speedboat.
Speedboat.
Like
Yeah, speedboat.
Speed rocket.
Going over a cliff.
That was a bump.
And then after that.
We just went for.
Yeah.
Just went for it. That was cool. But I think it was a nice one to. Well, as a trio, the last one we did as a trio, I think that's really cool to just say.
Yeah.
The product of everything you've done so far, let's just go for it.
Yeah, there was a lot of good communication in that one, I found as well. Like there was definitely really cool parts between the two of us as well. Like you were playing certain lines, and then the space, he would leave the space open, and then you could jump in that pocket again.
Yeah.
Like, and it was just great the way. There was just a lot of awareness today. That's what I thought was deadly. It was easy. It was the easiest session ever. Now I hope when I listen back to it. Oh my god!
It goes, geez, that was too easy.
But it was a pleasure. And then after that, Jason and myself did one track together. We just went mental.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that was good fun. How did you find that?
Yeah, fun is the word, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those ones. I think like thinking back to it, it's like I can't really remember much of what actually happened, but it felt like it kind of, you know, went to a few different places, but the trajectory of it made sense, like overall. I think.
Yeah.
No,
cool.
it did. Yeah, no. As a listener, you're right. Definitely, it was. It's
Great.
really great moments. But yeah, it was cool. As I said, that could be a whole different album.
Yeah.
Duo thing. You could definitely
You
do it.
never know. That could be one for the future again, you know.
That's really cool.
Awesome. So I guess that's. I don't really have much else to say about. I don't know what I'm going to call the album yet. I have a few ideas in mind, but I'm not going to say them at the moment and just see what happens.
Listen back, I suppose. I'm
Yeah.
sure something will come to mind when you listen back, and then you'll figure it out. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, so yeah, like there's all these these ideas coming to my mind. Like, I want to say them, but then if I say them, it's just like later I'll look back at this and be like, nah, it doesn't sound like that. It doesn't sound like that. So I'll give it time. Like, and not sure when I'm going to release it, but hopefully maybe 3 months time or something like that. We'll figure it out.
Cool.
So thanks again, lads.
Yeah, cheers.
Pleasure.
Adam, thanks for the call.
Pleasure.
Great.
Really enjoyed that. So on bass, Derek Whyte, and on drums, Jason McNamara. So thanks again, guys, and see you next week.